Hello, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I know time is very precious and you may not have time to watch all the way through, but down in the description box there are some markers. So if you want to go straight to the chat, whether you want to go straight to the recipe or to see how much weight I've lost this week, click on those markers and it will take you straight there. But can I ask, could you please leave a comment? Could you give me a thumbs up? If you haven't yet subscribed, can you subscribe and maybe click the bell just so that you know when I'm uploading another video? It really does mean an awful lot. It's you that's keeping me going. If you have your own YouTube channel, come over and say hello, tell me all about you. I'd love to watch your YouTube videos as well. Thank you so much. Here's the video. So it's Monday morning, my first cup of tea, and I've got to have it without any sweetener.
But I can do this, Jackie. Don't be a baby. Just don't be a baby. You can do this. Here we go.
That's not too bad actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yep, a nice cup of tea without sugar. I'm trying to kid myself, you do realise that, don't you? It is absolutely rank, but I'm really trying to tell myself it's okay. It really is okay. These are my sweeteners and I'm going to put them in the bin. And we get rid of that bugger as well. There we go. Goodbye. One of the things that I need to do today is to also put my scales up, because I had this almighty urge to weigh myself again, and I had that all last week. Nearly every day last week I weighed myself, and on Sunday, I don't know how many times I weighed myself in the morning, and I was moving them scales here, there and everywhere. I even got on my bike, for goodness sake, in the hope that I would lose something like a pound, just so that I could, you know, be happy about it. And then I realised what I was doing and I went straight back to that diet mindset. I thought to myself, well, if they're out of sight, I can't see them, so I'm going to put them in the cupboard. That's done, and I can get on with my day. I feel better already about that. So here we go. No sugar, no scales. Yay! We have decided to have homemade burgers because I had some mince in the freezer that I wanted to use up to make space in the freezer. Here we go. I've got one large white onion and I've diced it up really small, and I've added some little bits of mushroom in there which I had left over, and just gently fried that. I've done that, it's all nice and brown, so I'm just going to let it cool down. Here we have the mince. I'm going to put some mixed herbs on top, just chuck it in, give it a nice flavour. You can add chilies if you wish, anything else, maybe even curry, whichever you want to. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then one egg. That's one egg, and I've just whisked that up a little bit, stick that in there. So I'm now going to add the cooked mushrooms and onions that I've let cool down into here. Then make into patties. Get your hands in there. So here we have the patés, the burgers. You can see I've made them quite thick. As you can see, nice and thick here. There are 6. I'm just having 1. Richard's having 2 this evening, and then I'm going to cook the other 2. One for myself to go in a sandwich tomorrow, or maybe just to have for lunch, and another 2 for Richard if he wants them. If you're using fresh mince that hasn't been frozen, then you can always put some cling film around them and bung them in the freezer for another time. They should keep until whatever date you've got on the beef, so lovely jubbly. Gently grill them or fry them, whichever way round, just for a few minutes each side, and then we're going to have that with some wedges and a little bit of salad on the side. Easy peasy. I'm sweating. Nice one, Holly. Today is Thursday and I got up with Richard around about 5 o'clock. He bought me a lovely cup of tea in. Well, I say lovely, I'm still trying to get used to it. It's still a bit rank, but I'm getting there. This morning I've decided to do chicken. We're going to get some chorizo because Richard really loved the chorizo that was in the pork dish that I created yesterday. So we're gonna add a little bit to our chicken. So here we have is chicken with garlic, we have onions, we have mushrooms, I have put some thyme all over the top, salt and pepper, and I've got some little baby potatoes from a tin, and I've drizzled it with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to get some cut up chorizo, put that in as well, and bake it in the oven for about 45 minutes on 200, and we're going to have that with rice again, as we had yesterday with rice. Just a quick dish. I will be taking the skin off as much as I absolutely love the skin. I'm going to take it off because it's not very good for me. Richard will probably keep his on because it is the tastiest part. I am teaching for a little bit today, so I should be popping around to the shop with Richard. We're going to just go for a walk, get some steps in, and I should come back and teach till 8 o'clock this evening. Then I'm going to rest and watch a video with him before going to bed. So that's basically my day. Yay! Friday's chat. So I thought today I would talk about how far I've come so far and the changes that I've made. In the beginning of this journey, this particular journey from October, my weight loss was all about eating on a smaller plate, not eating in between meals, and eating more healthily with more vegetables and fruit. As time went on over these 3 months, I've realised that by listening to myself, that it's been the sugar that has kept me in food. The seed was planted really a couple of years ago when I read a book called Good Sugar, Bad Sugar by Alan Carr, not the comedian. But it really planted that seed, and I was horrified to find out how much sugar was in so many products on the shelves in these supermarkets. Horrified. And when I started looking at labels, and looking at labels was one thing that I absolutely did not want to do, and I still don't like doing it, but I'm kind of getting used to it now, looking at the ingredients rather than the nutrition side of things, and realizing that there's an awful lot of sugar in so many things. So I've decided to cut out obvious sugars, as one of my friends calls it, and that's sugar in tea, coffee, or if you're using it on certain things. I've given up chocolate, ice cream, all that sort of thing. And I've also stopped using diet foods as well. And I feel so much better for it. I don't feel the cravings for chocolate. I've been to the supermarket a couple of times now over the couple of weeks, and I've not had that pull like I have done, that void where I'm stood there thinking I should be doing something, and realizing that what I used to do was to fill my basket up with chocolate, crisps, dips, ice cream, and I couldn't wait to get home, so I'd start eating it more or less straight away. And because it felt like a void, because I wasn't doing that, I felt this emptiness. But thankfully I kind of knew what that was and why I was getting it, so I was able to walk out of the supermarket empty-handed, apart from the shopping that I was meant to go and get, and I felt okay about it. And it's kind of like a revelation. It's like, yes, I've done that, and it seems to be getting better. It was my choice to give up sweeteners. I do suffer with restless leg syndrome. If anyone knows what that is, it's when your legs suddenly want to move around at night. As soon as you want to rest, your legs suddenly want to start walking, and you just have this almighty urge to move them. I've had that ever since I was about 7 years of age, as long as I can possibly remember. And I was told that sweeteners could set it off. So I've sort of embarked on cutting that out as well, although I am trying my best. I do have it in certain things if I don't think it's going to affect me. And the same with sugar. Although I've cut out obvious sugars, I'm looking at labels and trying not to have things with sugar in. Sometimes it's inevitable, like the Worcestershire sauce that I'm still using. So yeah, I've made my own mayonnaise this week. I hope you've seen the video. I'll leave a link up there if you want to see it. It's been absolutely a wonderful journey so far, and I'm learning so much about myself. As far as food goes, I'm doing really, really well. I feel so much better. My joints don't ache as much, and I can only put that down to sugar. I'm sleeping better. My skin feels better. My fingernails are so much better. They're not splitting. I can only put that down to sugar. But I do know that at some point I will want something. If I go to a birthday party and there's cake going around, if I fancy it, I might have a slice, but I've got to be conscious that I'm taking it, and conscious afterwards to know that if I have a craving for something, I know why I'm having a craving. And that is half the battle, understanding why you have a craving. And when you know why, oh my goodness me, it's so much easier to deal with. It really, really is. So that is me. That is my update of how I'm getting on at the moment. My weight seems to be fluctuating a little bit, half this and then down a pound and half up and down. I have been messing around. I've been doing an awful lot more cooking, and my plate seemed to have got a little bit more, so I'm mindful of that and I'm trying to cut down. Instead of having 2 eggs, I'm having 1. Instead of having 2 sausages, I'm having 1, and just sort of being mindful of what I'm doing and being accountable for what I'm eating. And so that is me for now. £10 off this week. I am well chuffed, although looking back at my plate, there is so much more room for improvement. I've had a lot of meat this week. Yes, indeed. I had a lot of mayonnaise as well. Homemade mayonnaise is so gorgeous. So I'm going to just stop going into that jar as well. So I should be looking at that very closely. A little bit more exercise, I feel, because I'm not walking Barney this week. I've not really got out and done much walking. So yeah, there is room for improvement for next week, and I'm going to look forward to having a great week ahead of me. So please don't forget to join me. This week's shout outs go to Diane Milnes, Milnes. Thank you so much for your fantastic support, as well as Debbie Gaffney and Josie Butcher. Thank you all so much for supporting me with messages down below. Please keep it up, because it's you that really does keep me going. And I would just like to say hello to a new subscriber of mine over in America. Her name is Tonya Littlejohns. She's starting out on her new journey, and so far it's only been a couple of days. She's starting doing really, really well. So my love goes out to you, Tonya. Thank you. Just keep in touch. Here's to a great week. Love to you all. Again, subscribe if you haven't done already. Give me a thumbs up for this video. Chat to me down below. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you are. And maybe some advice. I don't mind. I will follow it. Lots of love. See you next Monday. Please feel free to have a look at my channel. I am in the throes of updating it over the next few days, along with my playlist. I will be uploading a new recipe every single week, along with my weight loss diary. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you look at any of them, and please comment. It really, really means an awful lot. Thank you so much. See you next Monday.